Everybody, this is going to be a video about how I made this cosplay. It's Kairi from Kingdom Hearts 3 with some modifications, of course, because I'm not a master seamstress, just an amateur cosplayer here who knows how to sew. Anyways, this is the video for that. I know my wig is the wrong color because I'm going to AX this weekend and but I'm just ghosting, I'm not going in, and I don't have time to buy a red wig. So yeah, and also, you know, there's some other like small modifications, like this is the wrong plaid and everything, but you know, I just hope to have fun. I hope you have a good day. This is just, oh, it's also not a step-by-step how I made it, it's just more of a showing the progress of it because I didn't have time to do step-by-step. And I'm also like really anal about when I'm doing stuff that I don't want to focus on filming, that I want to make sure I get everything right. This is a video of how I made this cosplay, and it was really fun. Hope you enjoy. So I am making Kairi's dress from the trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3. And so to do that, I am doing a modification of this dress because I don't trust myself to make my own patterns because I tried it before and it was awful. So this was the closest color I could find to her. I think it matches pretty well, not sure yet. Nowhere could I find the plaid she has on her dress. So I'm just doing that plaid instead of making it because that would have cost more money to make a plaid that looked like that and more time. So I'm just gonna use that plaid. I don't care if I get yelled at the convention. It's fine if I get yelled at by the purists. I'm just gonna tell them like, whatever, do what you want. This is what I did. This is for the black part of her skirt. And this is leftover leather that I have just laying around. It's actually pleather because I don't wear leather for the top part and the middle part of the skirt for her cosplay or for her outfit. This is for the zipper in the front because Kairi always has to have zippers for some reason. And then these buttons are going to be painted silver. So that should be fun. And then I actually found something while I was cleaning up my sewing area to do this. This is my very first cosplay, and it was a Kairi cosplay, and it was just awful. Someone even like pointed to me at Anime Expo and like said to his friend, "Oh, that's awful." And it was just, ever since then, like, I stopped cosplaying for a while because this was all hand sewn. And, like, I didn't have a machine, so I stopped cosplaying for a while. And apparently, like, I needed the other zipper for something. I don't even remember what. But yeah, this was my very first cosplay that I ever made. I thought I burned it, but apparently I didn't. So yeah, it's gonna be much better than that. I have a sewing machine now. Oh yeah, and the next step is to cut out the pattern, which is my least favorite thing to do with sewing because of my back, so that should be fun. All the pieces are cut up. Now it's time to sew them together, which is one of my favorite parts. I just really hate the cutting fabric part because it kills my back. But yeah, one sleeve on, but turns out I might have sewn the other sleeve backwards. It's okay. I was hungry while I was sewing that sleeve, so I ate and sewed that one on, realized that one was backwards. So the moral of the story is don't be hungry and sew, because when you have to mirror things, you're going to mess up. Here is it sewn on correctly. I know right now it just looks like a Powerpuff Girl, but like there's so much more that's gonna be added. This is just the front. And this is just the rough dress. But yeah, here's the top part. And now it is time for the lovely skirt. Here is the rough dress. Don't worry, it's not gonna look anything like this. We still need to add a bunch of things. I just need to figure out what the first thing I'm gonna do is. If it's add the zipper, add the lace or work on how the bottom of her skirt looks. But anyways, here's the rough dress. This is where I'm ending for today because my back is killing me. So far, I wanted to get the base dress done today, but it's not going to happen because of my back. But yeah, this is where I'm at so far. Changed up the bottom a little bit because I didn't want to do frills because they're annoying. The zipper and the hood still needs to be added, as long with the plaid edge for the sleeves. But yeah, this is where I am so far. I did end up doing a little bit more last night after my back felt better. I finished sewing on the bottom and I added the sleeves, the plaid sleeves. Now I just gotta do the zipper, the hoodie, and the buttons. And I think that's it. But yeah, that's how it looks so far. Here is the hood. Just need to add the ears and then it'll be attached to the dress. So ignore that seam. There we go, that looks prettier. I did pink on black instead of just switching yarn because I didn't really feel like switching yarn because it's not a hassle on my machine. It's just, you know, I don't have that much black yarn. It's not the black yarn that I don't have much of. I don't have much left on the bobbin for the black yarn, and I just hate doing that. So I just decided to, when I do the cat ears, I will definitely use black thread, but for this I just decided to use pink. Just painting the buttons gray for the cosplay. Hopefully they don't look too horrible, but yeah, because they didn't sell gray buttons at Joann's I live by for some reason. I have to say I really hate this because I'm diagnosed OCD, and the paint is coming out uneven, and you can see the paint strokes as you can see from this one, and like I know you're not going to be able to see it from far away, but like I get such bad anxiety at cons ever since that one incident I talked about where someone pointed out my very first cosplay and said it was horrible, that that someone's just gonna find one little thing wrong about my cosplay and say it's horrible. And like that just gives me really bad anxiety, and it makes me wonder why I even like hand make my cosplays. But you know, I still do it because I love crafting. And like crafting's like one of the, there are certain things about crafting that gives me anxiety, like cutting out the patterns, but that's only because of my back. And like my sewing machine, oh my god guys, my sewing machine has an attitude of its own. It works when it wants to work and always breaks on the most, not breaks, but I have a Singer, and anyone who has a Singer sewing machine knows that Singers have the biggest attitudes in the world. And sometimes they work perfectly, and then sometimes they want to give you a little bitch fit and not work at all and make your I'm blanking on the name, your bobbin seam just mess up out of nowhere because the alignment kind of sucks on Singers. And so it did that a couple times to me with this cosplay, but I read through it because I just like to think that my Singer just has a little attitude that likes to come out on me every once in a while, and I'm like, dude, we cool now? Can we like work, please? And usually when I set it to the proper thread, it doesn't do that, and sometimes I forget to switch it to the proper thread size when I switch thread, and I know that's my own fault, but I just like thinking that my sewing machine has a little attitude. What else gives me anxiety about crafting? Just things not looking right, like my cosplays never look exactly the same. And that's because I'm not a master seamstress or anything. This is only a hobby. And as you can tell already from mine, that the skirt part looks different because I didn't frill out the bottom because I was like, I don't have the time or energy to do that. So I'm worried people are gonna get mad about that. The plaid doesn't look exactly the same, so people might get mad about that. But at the end of the day, you just have to go with a group of supporting people. Or if you go by yourself, go to find a group of supporting people who aren't gonna talk shit about you and stand up for you. Like there was this one con where like my cosplay bestie, her ex just kept on appearing out of nowhere. And I had to prevent her spouse from killing her ex. But, you know, we all like stood with her and we're like, dude, like, and like swung them out of the way every time we saw her. So you just have to like have that group of friends who like really supports you in the end and who's going to be there for you at the con and is not going to ditch you for some other cosplay group because they might have a better hotel room. Just saying, that totally didn't happen. It is, and it is done. So yeah, here is the finished product. I do have a waist belt I'm gonna use, and in total it took me about 3 days to make, but you know, not 3 days constantly working. I would say 3 days of working on it 8 hours every day. It's actually the fastest I've ever made a cosplay. My last cosplay for Mimikyu took a week, and it was a lot less intricate than this one was, so practice makes perfect, guys. Also, I know this isn't Kairi's Keyblade, but it's the one I own.